Well, there are calls tonight for changes to the pension your member of parliament earns. They come as the government looks for deficit-reducing cuts from every department, every public servant, leaving some wondering if MPs should be part of the belt tightening too. Laurie Graham has this story for us tonight. Laurie.
Peter, about 2/3 of Canadians have no pension other than the CPP, but they are paying into one for their members of parliament. Just because you have a job in Canada doesn't mean you get a pension from your employer. Ask Art Cooper.
Through my own investments, that's the only way I'll have a pension.
But if you're an MP, you're guaranteed a pension after working only 6 years.
I got to serve 28 to 30 years before I can get a pension from them, and why should they get it after 6 years?
And here's how they get it. For every dollar MPs put into their pension, taxpayers contribute about 5. And according to regulations set decades ago, the MP pension fund must grow by 10% every year, regardless of what the markets are doing, which means taxpayers are on the hook for millions more. But today, calls to scale back from this right-leaning think tank.
The kind of pension plan that we ought to be promising our leaders, I think, should be somewhere in the middle, more generous than what the ordinary Canadian currently gets, but certainly less generous than what the MPs are currently promising themselves.
For example, Gilles Duceppe, former leader of the Bloc Québécois, is set to collect more than $140,000 a year from a country he spent his career trying to split up. 32-year-old Conservative MP Pierre Poilievre has already served 7 years and is sitting on a $33,000 pension with room to grow. And if the NDP's 20-year-old prodigy Pierre-Luc Dussault is elected again, he's on his way to Freedom 25.
Boy, I wish I could get that sweet a deal. I really do.
But some MPs defend their pensions.
If you compare the responsibilities of an MP with the regular marketplace, there's a pretty good balance.
What I've always heard is that the average career of members of Parliament is 5 years. And I think that's something to consider.
But Robson says there's only one thing to consider.
Change the benefits so that it's something more like what we would want and expect all Canadians to have.
The federal government has its eye on reducing public servants' pensions, but no indication it will touch the MP plan. Peter?
All right, Laurie, thank you. Laurie Graham in Ottawa.